Hey there, marketers. Today we're going to talk about how to be super successful with a content calendar. My name is Owen Peel, and if you're looking to keep all of your content organized with a calendar, you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know to get started with using a content calendar to plan, manage, and publish all of your content in one place in a way that's easy to follow and helps you get started on the right foot. To start things off, what is a content calendar? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a calendar you can use to strategically plan every piece of content you'll publish, make it easy to visualize your editorial strategy, and keep your content team on the same page. They're also often called an editorial calendar, which is more or less a different term for the same thing. So, who uses content calendars? All kinds of content creators use calendars to keep organized, including marketers, journalists, bloggers, PR teams, and more. As you can see, 69% of companies use an editorial calendar. That is very nice. All kinds of team members will use it: writers, editors, content managers, designers, analysts, all of that. And they all use calendars for more or less the same reasons: to solve problems. Without one, first of all, it's tough to keep organized. Content strategy and creation can both become a mess very quickly if there isn't a tool or platform that helps tie it all together and keep everything organized. Second, without a calendar, it's also difficult to know when things are due or when they're going to be published, or really to know what anyone on your team is actually doing. We often hear from folks who want a calendar just to show that they can keep their team organized and to show stakeholders what they're working on so they can see what's getting done and how they're shipping. Lastly, without a calendar, it's easy for content to get done off the cuff without a lot of thought or planning behind why or when it's going to be created, or even for what reason. When you're creating content that way, it can feel like you're just throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks, and while that sometimes can work, more often than not, it just leads to a lot of stress and wasted effort without much to show for it. So, now let's look at those same issues from a more positive perspective. What benefits will you gain from a content calendar? When you get organized, you're going to be less stressed, more efficient, and better able to think strategically about the content you're creating, and more able to plan out your workflows and deadlines. We've done research here at CoSchedule that found marketers who say they're organized are 397% more likely to also say that they're successful. That's a big number. Something else that we hear a lot from customers is how helpful a calendar can be for visibility. When everyone on your team knows when things are due and what's coming up, it's easier to get things done on time. It's also easier to show stakeholders and clients exactly what you're working on and show your team's output. Finally, you'll be more successful. We just think about that 397% statistic as a reminder for exactly how powerful it can be to have a content calendar to plan out all your work. Now, what information should a content calendar include? So, once you've decided to create a content calendar, whether with a spreadsheet or CoSchedule or something else, you'll need to think about what should go on your content calendar. This is also a question we get a lot. Deadlines and publish dates are obviously the bare minimum for what should go on the calendar. Headlines and article or project titles are another item that should be added on each deadline for each piece. Some other things you can also include are who is creating each piece, who's the editor or owner or project manager for each piece, along with the project status or which phase each project is in. For example, your project stages for an article could look like planned, create, edit, and publish, or however you'd like to label them. This makes it easier to know at a glance exactly how close each project is towards completion, so you can make sure everything is on pace to meet this deadline. That way, if something needs to be moved back, or if something is stopping that project from being completed on time, you can either adjust the deadline or start a conversation to talk about what's holding up the content from getting created on time. Now, how to create a content calendar. Whatever tool you use, this is all information you can include, though a platform like CoSchedule's marketing calendar makes it easiest to keep everything together. You'll need a backlog of content ideas you'll create in the future. When you have a bank of ideas ready to go, then you'll never run out of content to create, and you'll be able to keep your content pipeline full. You can either build your backlog in another spreadsheet, or if you're a CoSchedule marketing calendar customer, you can use the idea board to easily store ideas and then move them onto your calendar when you're ready. If you'd like to generate a lot of ideas fast to get started, a process that CoSchedule used in our early days was to get our marketing team together in a room and then have everyone silently write down as many ideas as they could in 10 minutes. Then everyone would spend 10 minutes scoring each idea on a 3-point scale. Finally, the team would spend 10 minutes looking at every idea that everyone thought was a 3 and then would add those to the calendar, while 2s would go in the backlog and 1s were discarded. If you use this brainstorming process, it's pretty common for not every idea to be the best, but by generating lots of ideas quickly, you get a lot of content you can test to see what works so you can create more content like your very best stuff. Once you have some ideas you feel good about, you'll need to determine how often you're going to publish. There are no definite right or wrong answers for how often you publish, but it's best to be consistent so people can know how often to expect new content from you. It's also important to stick with a cadence you can sustain for the long term without sacrificing quality. If you're unsure of how often to publish, start small, with 1 piece per week or 1 piece every 2 weeks, and then scale up as you get more comfortable working with your calendar. Eventually, you'll learn how often you can realistically publish and how much content you really need to create. Then, document your workflow. Map out what the whole process looks like for creating each type of content your team works on. This makes it clear how content should be created and avoids confusion around when content gets handed off between writers and designers and editors or other team members. CoSchedule's marketing calendar customers can use tasks and task templates to manage workflows in their calendar. Otherwise, there are a lot of other tools out there you can use as well. Once you know all the steps involved in creating a piece of content, and you know roughly how long each step in each process takes, you can use that to figure out how long one single piece takes to complete. Then you can easily plan out deadlines on your calendar more accurately so things don't get rushed. Then, once you're up and running, start publishing more and better content that gets results. Sounds great, right? Now, we won't pitch you on using CoSchedule too hard here, but if you are interested, we have a 14-day free trial available of our marketing calendar, or you can schedule a demo with us to see how you can organize all your content in one place. You can also share your progress with stakeholders and stay flexible when plans change. That is all I have for you today. I hope you go out and start building your content calendar. Download the content that comes with this piece. There should be some free spreadsheets on there you can use to get started, and then definitely check out your 14-day free trial of CoSchedule Marketing Calendar. I don't know how we would put out the kind of content that we do without it. It's just a really great tool, and I hope you make use of it. So thank you. Go out and ship it.